Sean Vincent here. I'm from Sacramento, California, USA, and I'm here to celebrate from Miss Pac-Man's 40th anniversary. Today, this first lady of video games, as was dubbed by Midway in 1982, remains a ubiquitous ambassador of coin-op games, as the machine can be still found in the restaurants, truck shop, arcades, and the other ventures across in the U.S. In fact, have sold 117,000 units in this country. Miss Pac-Man still holds all sales records for the standalone arcade video game in the US at the time of Miss Pac-Man release in early 1982, at least just January 1982. Arcade Mania was full swings in the US concepts pioneering the coin-op games filtering down to the console at the home computer level and advertisements for less advanced to the title brags in the arcade-like realism as if it were the peak aspiration of all games. It's a maze arcade game developed by General Computer Corporation and published by Midway. It is the first sequel to Pac-Man, as the first entry in the series is not made by Namco. Controlling the titular character, the player is tasked as eating all the pellets in the enclosed maze while avoid to four-color ghosts eating a large power pellet unless the players eat the ghosts turn on blue and flee. General Computer original made to the game as a malfunction kit for the original Pac-Man title is about Crazy Otto. However, due to the previous legal action with Atari, GCC was forced to present the project in Midway, the North America distributor of Pac-Man. Midway purchasing project and enlisted GCC to use the game as basic for the sequel to Pac-Man. This is Steve Galson, the left side. He's a former engineer of General Computer Corporation. And this is Doug McRae, the right side. He's a co-founder and former chairman of General Computer Corporation. Both of them are just made what they developed for Miss Pac-Man. Miss Pac-Man was acclaimed by critics for the original gameplay and for having a female protagonist. Some has to describe it as the superior to Pac-Man. It has been listed among the greatest video games of all time as one of the most successful American arcade games ever made. The game's success inspired a variety of merchandise, several ports for home consoles and handheld systems, and numerous sequels to remake Spawn and a Miss Pac-Man spin-off series. Miss Pac-Man is a very kind and motherly, devoting of most of her time carrying her children. She is not adventurous as her husband, but will still help out whenever she called upon, too. Just like Pac-Man, she enjoys the eating, is good at navigating mazes, as seen in Maze Madness. She also has knack for solving problems. Certainly. As for the first playable character in a video game, Miss Pac-Man occupies an incredibly important position in the video game history. During her distinguishing feature, she is arguably a more distinctive character than the original Pac-Man, who it took a while to be a truly settled on. The Miss Pac-Man arcade game was ported to a huge number of different systems throughout the 80s and 90s, and she made numerous guest appearances in the other games, including Pac-Man. She was prominently the feature in the source of lit 1982 Pac-Man animated series. She is the voice of Brava Miskas, but at least she's a legendary voice actress. And many years later, Miss Pac-Man even got her own game with Miss Pac-Man Maze Madness. Is released in the 2000 on PS1, Nintendo 64, and Dreamcast. in the game story, she aids Professor Pac in saving the Pac-Land for it's a princess from an evil force. Uh, uh, Even a Game Boy Advance version, but lately appeared in 2004. There are also the more obscure, the PC only titles called Miss Pac-Man: Quest of the Golden Maze from Microsoft Windows, which is released in 2001. As for the story, Miss Pac-Man is on the adventure, much like her first, in the hopes of finding the Golden Maze. Professor Pac is talking to Miss Pac-Man. She, she, he tells her about the Golden Maze and Sir Cleopatra in the Temple of Dots. He says that the true Pac-Venturer who can get the maze and beat it. Miss Pac-Man set out the Golden Maze to beat it, but the four ghost monsters are trying to get her way. And And though her appearances beyond initials of Miss Pac-Man game have meant that she always remained on the radar, it's the first sequel to the original Pac-Man, which remains iconic to well loved to this day, that truly keeps in her hearts and the minds of gamers the world over. Miss Pac-Man is a playable character in Pac-Man World Rally for GameCube, PS2, and original Xbox. She is a mighty weight character and perfectly balanced statistics in the addition to being the fastest middleweight of the game. And Miss Pac-Man was Mario Kart Arcade GP and GP2. Miss Pac-Man is a playable character racer for several Mario Kart games, just in arcade only, specifically the arcade ones, along with Mario and his friends. She joined by Pac-Man and Blinky, and she did not appear in Mario Kart Arcade GP DX, just 1 and 2. Well, instead of the pop icon is secured for the cameos, and so is the another appearance in TV and movies was on the appearance of appearances. Well, I guess I hope you enjoyed it. Why I hope you're so guys happy about Miss Pac-Man. We should be very thankful to the 3 college students for what they invented for Miss Pac-Man arcade, not just Toru Iwatani. Toru Iwatani is only the creator of Pac-Man. Well, without us a great one. But I always love Miss Pac-Man. Miss Pac-Man is one of my favorites as long as I play a lot. And I'm just glad Miss Pac-Man was on her own adventure, like Maze Madness, Quest of the Golden Maze, and even playable characters available for sure. And good thing is I wear this. Anyway, so have a wonderful celebration and happy Miss Pac-Man's 40th anniversary, everyone. And I'll see you there. Peace. Oh, and by the way, I just want to say, I love you, Miss Pac-Man.